Aloha. The next pose is Uttanasana with head support. So Uttanasana is a standing forward extension. It's where you stand in Tadasana and bend forward. We're going to do the pose today with a chair. So you can use any chair for this without arms. So it can be a dining room chair, an office chair, a folding chair, but any chair without arms will work for this pose today. So I have a folding chair here, and I'm going to place a blanket on the chair seat. You may want to place a towel there. You may want to place a mat. If you're tighter in your hamstrings or in your back, you might even want to place a bolster on the chair. I'm going to start here with my legs wide. For today, my legs are as wide as the mat, and the outer edges of the feet here line up with the outer edges of the mat. If you had a wall space, this pose could also be done with your heels a few inches away from the wall and your buttocks on the wall. But for the sake of showing today, I'm going to use the middle of the mat. But if you have an available wall space, it's a lovely way to do the pose with the buttocks at the wall, heels away from the wall, so you'll be on a slight angle when you do the pose. Your legs will be slightly slanted. But in either version, the legs are wide. I press down into both feet evenly. Spread the bottoms of the feet from the big toe side to the little toe side. Stretch my calf muscle down to my heels and lift the thighs up away from the knees. The front thighs lift up. For today, the back thighs lift up. The heels stretch down, calves stretch down, and I extend forward through my toes. Then with the hands on the waist, I draw the upper arms toward each other to open the chest and inhale. As I inhale, I look up and extend from my pubic bone to my navel, to my sternum, to the crown of my head. And then keeping the arms squeezing toward each other, I exhale and extend forward. Cross my arms and bring my head down to rest on my crossed arms. I continue to press the feet down, stretch the calves to the heels, and lift the thighs up away from the backs of the knees. Now with that space between the eyebrows resting here, I begin to notice my breath. And as I inhale, I want to inhale first into this lower part of my back and spread the sides of my back away from the center. And then I do the same into my middle back, spreading from the side to the center, and into my upper back. You'll continue to stay here with the head resting, the feet pressing down and spreading, the calf muscle to the heels, the thighs lifting up, and following that breath, creating space in all three areas of your back. When you're ready to come up, you can place the hands on set the timer for 1 to 3 minutes. And when you're ready to come up, press the hands into the chair seat, look forward, bring them onto your waist, and come back up to your standing position. Uttanasana with head support. Another variation would be, as I said, if you're tighter, to use a bolster. If you happen to have 2 blocks and you have a fair degree of mobility in your hips and your hamstrings, you could place the 2 blocks on your mat. Take your legs wide apart again so that you keep space across the pelvis, space in the diaphragm. We want to keep open, right? When we're tense, when we're stressed, when we're anxious, everything contracts. So in this practice, whichever pose you're in, I want you to try and find this idea of spreading, of expanding, of opening your chest, not just in the front, but also in the back body. So when the legs are wider apart, it helps us to do that. Again, the feet are parallel. I spread the toes, press the feet down evenly. Lift the inner thighs up, stretch the calves down to the heels. Hands on the waist again. I come down. This time I'm going to rest the crown of my head on the bricks and hold the sides of the mat. So the elbows are wide here. Maybe my head comes lower. Maybe I need more height. And then I pull the mat apart. And in that pulling apart, I spread again the muscles in the upper back away from the spine. The muscles in the middle back, the muscles in the lower back. And I let my head rest on the bricks. So there's a couple of variations for you to work with in Uttanasana with head support.